as we're about to board our flight to Manila, which is going to be very exciting. We'll stop over in Singapore on the way. In the last 48 hours, Ian and myself have traveled from Melbourne. We've traveled from Melbourne. We left Melbourne at 3 a.m. We arrived at the airports, and then from there we recognized some of the things that we were aiming to do was to meet with the team, see what the quality of the warehouse has become over the last year that we have been away from it, and also give the team an understanding of the vision of what's going on for KeepSpace into the next couple of years. When we arrived into Perth, there were some areas that needed some updating. Some of the areas with the lighting, we needed to update the lighting in the warehouse. So we added new lights, new fixtures to the facility. We also saw that we needed to upgrade the inbound areas. We weren't able to do it in such a quick time frame, but we were able to at least recognize the parts we did need and start to put in place the steps to be able to get those completed. And it was also really good to bond with the team, catch up with the team, do hugs and cuddles and just connect and put a face to a name and just meet each other for the first time, which was really, really nice. After that, we thought we'd go through some vision insight over how the company's been going. That was really encouraging to be able to express the vision of KeepSpace with new members of the team, also give them an insight of what the company's trying to achieve, as well as show them our management practices that we've been building over the last 3 years. Recognize the things that are going to be really important for KeepSpace to really meet the next stage of its development. So that was really, really encouraging to do. Now, taking some of those things that we have learned from and heard from the team here in Perth, we're now going to take some of those and we're going to take them into the Philippines and go through our support structures, go through our accounting capabilities, and put in place the steps that are going to be needed for some training for the support ladies to be able to see where they're at, what they're needing, and where they're wanting to grow, as well as finding out where the accounting structures are going to be and placing some financial forecasting and expectations of where the business is going to be. We'll have a little bit of fun on the way. There's a swimming pool that's going to be at the location that we're going to, and we're going to see what happens in the next 2 days. I'm so tired. I don't really have a full scheduled plan right now because we've been at it for the last... I'm a bit tired. That's all I'm going to say. So when I did speak to you last, it was at the Perth airport and we were about to take flight. We ended up taking that flight, leaving in the evening in Perth and arriving at midnight in Singapore. Slept most of the way, as you would. And as we disembarked from the Singaporean airport, we were able to get some really nice food at around midnight and then looking at some fishes in the bowls, aquariums. We end up getting our next flight, Singapore into the Philippines, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we landed in the Philippines at pretty much 5:30 in the morning. It was actually really cool to see our first team member, Genevieve, who is our bookkeeper, to be able to let us borrow her SUV while we are here in the Philippines. We were catching up with some of our friends, Calvin, Resha, and Vera, to be able to meet all together. It's the first time we've all met each other physically in person after working with each other for over a year. To be able to work with these guys for all this time and then to finally meet them in person, I cannot express how lovely it is. Because you actually get to meet them, you get to see their characteristics, you get to know what they're like, and then you're able to add that to just the great work that they've been doing, which is really, really nice. We are here at It's been almost a day now since our last catch up. After breakfast, we started to prepare to get ready to leave because we had a big day to travel across town to get back to the city. We went back to the shopping mall, buying souvenirs for the team back in Perth, as well as in Melbourne as well. So we ended up catching up with Rash's family, beautiful little chat, as well as then going to Calvin's location and seeing Calvin's home in a really nice place, guarded by some really big dogs who were actually quite friendly in the end. And he was gracious enough to allow us to have a tour of his property and also to see his room, to see where he works and operates from. And it was really nice. There was also a section in his house where we saw all of his family portraits, which was in his whole family, and he's one of 3 brothers, and it was really cool to see that. And then from there we had to run off and get to Manila Airport. Just dash through on the main freeway all the way back to the Skyway and across the Skyway, going through the lovely traffic of Manila, which wasn't actually that bad, but we got through it. And then we got to the international airport, getting ready to catch our flight, which we left at around 7 o'clock that evening, landing into Singapore, where we are today. At Singapore, we pretty much have just been chilling and waiting and just burning time until we're going to be going into Perth, and we're going to be catching up with the whole team and just really connecting with them and just saying hi and knowing what drives them and what's really important to them. It's hot. So here we are now. We're here in Perth, West Australia. We just finished an amazing day, about to catch our flight to go back to Melbourne. But before we get on, just a little recap of what's happened so far. The team welcomed us with big open arms and had an amazing meal together down at a lovely Chinese restaurant, which was halal based, with our team. Had lovely drinks, really lovely dishes with sweet and sour pork and couple variations of rice and some chicken, and it was really nice just to be able to socialize and get together with everyone. During that time while we were together, we were going through what it was like in the Philippines, talking about what our team's been going through, what it's like there, and just being able to reconnect and pass over some messages about what was going on. That next following morning, we ended up meeting up with the team for their morning circle and just hearing from their perspective what's going on, what still needs improving, what we're doing well. And through that, we were able to get some deeper insights over what's going on from an operational perspective within KeepSpace. After we had got together and done our circle, we then started to separate into our tasks. And the task that we got lucky to do that morning was to repair the bathroom's light and exhaust fan. Go onto Bunnings, get the replacement pieces and reinstall those in. Also, there was another bubble wrap roller that had to be drilled in to the top and be reconnected with a new pole. And so that way, that is making the standardization across the different packing stations. After that, we had finally come to a conclusion of our first business model users who were using us as a self-storage solution and had, after 6 years, finally packed up her belongings and delivered them to her location so that she could reunite it with her goods that she had been storing with us all this time. For that chapter to come to a close, we were now ready to just really focus on everyone else who's been using our services as a 3PL and moving forward with our team. And now we're here at the airport at 10:30, about to take our flight at 11:45 to get ready to go back to Melbourne and back to work. So looking forward to that, and also bringing this entire process to a final close. I'll see you in the next one.